My name is Chandler and I'm a senior at the University of Kansas studying visual communication design and photo media. A little bit of context with my past work. I grew up in a creative household, so art and design is in my genes. I was taught from a young age to carefully observe the world around me and pull inspiration from it. When I landed on photography, I quickly blossomed. I dove into projects such as documenting a college house on Tennessee Street here in Lawrence, street photography on trips such as New Orleans, and studio photography and my other passions, fashion and music. Speaking of music, another big part of my life is band. I picked up the trumpet in 6th grade and it clicked. It was the perfect amount of creative expression, but also discipline that you would get from a sport. It stuck, and I was in marching band all the way through college. I had many professors ask me to reconsider my commitment to band for time's sake, but my love for this crazy activity was too strong. So that posed the question: how can I photograph an activity I'm a part of? I learned the ins and outs of this activity, the relationships built, and the commitment members had, but couldn't break out to photograph it myself. I attempted photos during my time, but I wasn't successful. So the answer was drum corps. DCI, or Drum Corps International, is categorized as performing arts that function similarly to professional sports in which corps are based out of a city. Members, ages 21 and under, come from all over the world and pay thousands of dollars to participate. It is a lengthy and arduous process of auditioning, training, and competitions. It begins in September with months of video assignments and in-person camps. 30 days of spring training start in mid-May, during which members learn an entire show and get ready to perform around the country. Staff, members, million-dollar shows, and NFL stadiums filled with fans make up this league the public is unaware of. The Crossmen is a corps started in Allentown, Pennsylvania by two conjoined corps in 1974, but relocated to their new home of San Antonio, Texas in 2006. The Crossmen have served thousands of students throughout its history, providing not only music education, but also life lessons to carry with them as they leave the world of drum corps to pursue their careers. Being from Texas and aligning with their core values, I reached out to Crossmen. And so, I went on tour. I was hired as the media lead to tell the story of the Valkyrie, a powerful female figure that decided life and death in her relationship with Vikings, the show for the 2019 season. The visual aesthetic was powerful, dark, and moving. But truthfully, that isn't what kept me interested throughout these months. The things that kept me inspired was the behind the scenes, such as the functional day-to-day life, the unconventional way of living, and the strong emotional relationships built within this group. Things that came typical to me were having my packing efficiency down pat with one suitcase and my equipment. I slept on the floor, sometimes with not enough energy to roll out my sleeping mat. Eating full boxes of cereal as snacks was the norm, and insane tan lines became what I was known for amongst the staff. This began my project titled 80 Days. For 80 days, the Crossmen had 26 shows all over the country, rehearsing in 20 states along the way. They traveled in charter buses nearly every night to the next stop, rolling up to a high school to set up sleeping mats on gym floors before the next 15-hour day of rehearsals. The Crossmen travel in a caravan of 8 vehicles, including a fully stocked food truck that serves everyone 4 meals a day, not to mention having laundry stops only 4 times during this entire experience. It is non-stop. These members are bonding more than anyone can imagine, spending day in and day out together for months. I spent my time working on this project during the moments no one really thought about: stretching, in between reps, eating, or leisure blocks of time. I was especially interested in logistical scenes anyone who had not participated in the activity ever saw, such as sleeping setups on gym floors. Time like EPL, or Eat Pack Load, was another time I wasn't aware of beforehand. A set amount of time to pack up everything, eat, sometimes these at the same time, and load up on buses to another show or housing site. No one realizes the amount of food it takes to feed over 200 people 4 times a day. Many of them I helped unload. All hands on deck was our favorite term for unpacking thousands of frozen waffles, gallons of peanut butter, and more bread a normal person would eat in their lifetime. Along those lines, the PB&J table was set up for every meal. These simple sandwiches became a staple for any time of the day. some members eating up to 4 to give them the calories they need to get through the next rehearsal block. And embracing the unique daily tasks. Sometimes the photographer has to bleach the food truck towels, hang dry them, and document her proud work, of course. Also, the remarkable tan lines from being outside nearly every hour of daylight. While working on this project, I pulled a lot of inspiration from other artists. I was really drawn to Wes Anderson's visual components, such as center composition, bright colors, and sometimes vast landscapes in his films. I was especially inspired by Robert Frank and his work The Americans, where he came from Switzerland immediately into a post-war American society. The New York Times, in an article about his work, described it as, "Frank's nakedness to what was to him an alien land terrified us, and we were joyous. In a way, this amounted to a callow extension of American exceptionalism, post-war national hubris, only negative. Tragedy with its foot to the floor. We were special, all right." I really resonated with this concept with drum corps, the connection between insanity and finding comfort in this bizarre everyday life. Other moments I was drawn to were in the tunnel before performances. Just like professional athletes, they have their pre-show rituals and get into the zone, maybe getting in last-second reps of changes from the rehearsal that morning. Nerves are still a real thing at the professional level, especially for NFL stadiums filled like here in Atlanta or in Denver. My project took a turn when I started seeing a pattern of these moments that I was drawn to. I saw and understood the immense amount of physical and mental energy these members put into every rehearsal and felt the incredible need to document it. I connected deeply to the lifetime friendships made along the way. Moments like these, I know they'll treasure forever. Marching band is an activity that takes the trust and commitment of every single member. If someone gets injured, there's no second string or backup player. I saw the heart and soul the members put into the show concept, truly becoming the figure of a Valkyrie or a Viking. All leading up in the blink of an eye to a series of lasts. Last rehearsal blocks became more sentimental. More emotional, energy-packed performances. To the last performance, the one 15-minute run that decides the final placement. 15 minutes to prove a year of time, hard work, and commitment that will be talked about for the rest of their lives. At first, my project was a way to learn and communicate the compelling story of the Crossmen in their 2019 season. But as I dove deeper, I realized that through the development of this project, I was also able to discover and excavate my own intimacy with these relationships and community. I found meaning in the connections I built within myself while building a story about others. Thank you.